Welcome. In front of me I have the OnePlus 10T, well, under it. And today I'll go over unboxing along with a quick overview of this phone. So let's just kind of get to it. There we go. Now buds can go to the side. That will be done in a separate video. But anyway, there's our box for the phone. So I'm just gonna pop it straight open. There we go. That's interesting. It's kind of neatly done. So you got some welcoming and safety information. So just paperwork and nothing in here. No case whatsoever. Now inside we got obviously the phone. We get a pretty hefty charger. So this is, if I can find it, it looks to be 160 watts charger. So I'm gonna try to get it on camera. Let's actually get the light. There we go. So you can see it right. Where is it? There we go. So 160, it's a third line. So yeah, it's a pretty hefty charger. I'm pretty sure this thing could probably charge your phone, not phone, but your laptop as well, if you have a Type-C charging. So it kind of becomes a universal charger at this point. And Type-C to Type-C charging cable, which obviously correlates to the charger, which comes with the Type-C port. And that's basically all we have in here. Now, when it comes down to the phone itself, you can see it right here. So let's start off with the display. This is a 6.7-inch display with a resolution of 1080 by 2412 pixels, and it's a AMOLED display, 1 billion colors, 120 Hz refresh rate, HDR10 plus. So basically the whole package. Now it's also covered by Cornell Gorilla Glass 5 at the front, and additionally it has a screen protector on here, a little plasticky one, but still better than nothing. And if we flip it over, you can see our triple camera setup. So in terms of cameras, we're dealing with the main sensor being a 50 megapixel wide sensor, then we got an 8 megapixel ultra wide and 2 megapixel macro. Now that being said, we actually have dual camera setup. So the last one is a sticker camera. Don't be fooled by it. It's absolute shit. Anyway, let's move on. And at the front we have a 16 megapixel wide sensor. So probably the best camera obviously will be the 50 megapixel, considering it's the main sensor and the one that's probably everything is optimized towards it. Now one thing that I'll mention, the bezel right here, or not bezel but the bump, it's fairly minimal. So you can see it barely protrudes, and the protrusion is done really nicely to the point that it doesn't like annoy your, it's not like something that can basically grab. It has a subtle curvature to it. It's a subtle thing, but actually makes it feel a little bit more premium. Now, the question is, why isn't this damn bump in the middle? At that point, you wouldn't have a wobble, but I guess logical thinking kind of out the window. anyway, let's move over further to the rest of the phone. So the processor in here is a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, so basically top of the line, the best one you can get right now. And it comes with either 8, 12 or 16 gigs of RAM, and obviously a couple different versions of storage. So we have 128, 250 and 250. Now that I did say 250 twice because one of them comes with 12 gigs of RAM and the other one with 16. And in every case you get UFS 3.1 storage, so it should be recording or encoding on this storage pretty freaking quickly. So if you're recording things like 4K footage or maybe even 8K, or actually I don't think it supports 8K, so 4K 60, it should be being recorded onto the storage and edited from it really quickly. Now let's move on. Battery size in here, we are dealing with a 4800 mAh battery, which is a really decent size for the phone. Well, this size. It's obviously not the smallest device, but it's also not the biggest one, and it doesn't have much heft to it, along with not being super thick. So inclusion of nearly a 5K battery here, it's a really nice thing to have. And like I mentioned, with the charger we have 160 watts charging, but it apparently doesn't really specify how quick it would charge. So anyway, it looks like we don't have any wireless charging. I'm going to quickly check it. I do have a under the desk a Qi charger, so I'm just going to slap it in its position and see if it starts charging. Yep, no wireless charging, so that's a little bit of a shame, but apparently this device comes at around $600 US or so. At least that's how I see it. Let me actually make sure that is correct, because this is OnePlus, so I don't really think it's that cheap anymore. Yeah, actually it might be that cheap. So if that is the case, this is actually a really decent phone for the price. So obviously I'm saying about $600. It might be a little bit more, like $650, depending on where you buy it from and so on. Obviously in where I am from, this phone, even though at US it costs almost nothing at this point, or half a budget or half of a flagship in a way, for me it nearly costs as much as flagships used to cost, because US dollar is just skimming the market or something, considering it's right now higher than euro, which, yeah, highly doubted after printing so much money and trying to save the market. So yeah, something is kind of off here, but I guess for US citizens that's great. For everybody else around the world, if it's being marketed in US dollars and just converted from it, I guess we're getting kind of shafted here. But nonetheless, if this phone comes at about $600 and you're dealing with dollars, that's great for you, and this phone should be a massive deal. So it's virtually a flagship without some of the things like wireless charging, which honestly at this price I'm not even mad. The rest of the package is just fantastic for what you get, so it's a good trade-off in my opinion. Now I'm just going to touch upon a couple more things. So build quality, I think we have a glass back. I think this is glass. It is, I'm not even sure how to even describe it. It's not like brushed aluminum kind of thing. It just has, I have no idea how to describe it. You can kind of see it on the video. So this is the back. It has just matte finish to it, but it's kind of like with linear matte. So yeah, aluminum frame, glass front, obviously Gorilla Glass 5, and obviously no headphone jack, as you can probably guess from here. We do have a SIM tray. Now this is just a SIM tray. You're not gonna get expandable storage on OnePlus. They might be making a decent phone here, but they still want you to buy the more expensive, overpriced storage. Volume buttons on the left side, right here, and power button on the right side. And on the display, fingerprint sensor. So that's basically all the key features of this device. And just to finish this off, for the price that you get to pay right here, which would be about $600, this is a freaking fantastic device. And honestly, last time I had a OnePlus device, I did kind of rag on it because it was just kind of a joke from what OnePlus used to be. But this seems to be kind of returned to, I guess, what OnePlus used to be. So, thumbs up. Anyway, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.